To get rid of those pesky ads, request stories, listen to unlisted and bonus episodes, and to chat with the gang, support us by clicking the description link.
I once heard a friend refer to Food Lion as Ghetto Kitty.
Ghetto Kitty.
And I had not heard that before.
I like
and
that.
And I was like, I mean, Food Lion.
That's kind of accurate.
It used to be a Bilo.
Bilo, the one that closed over here, was not good at all.
I never went to that one. I mean, like I went, but I didn't frequent.
Yeah, I went a couple of times when like it does happen to be on the way home. Mm-hmm. But no, it was never worth it. It was always worth it.
And now that space is empty.
Yeah.
I think they should put a Dave & Buster's in there.
Congrats, Katie. Katie said that she is officially a licensed cosmetologist and college grad.
Congrats, that's awesome.
That is so cool. Nice. Now I can now you can give me hair tips because I've been cutting my own hair.
He's already
That's
tried.
not the same thing.
No. Cosmetologist is.
Is hairdressing cosmetology technically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's one of my rules. Of the two types of women you don't date, one is cosmetologist, and two is anyone that drives a PT Cruiser.
Those are interesting standards.
Don't hate on the PT Cruiser crew, okay?
I mean,
I love my PT Cruiser.
And Katie is like, you know what? There's Laura is also a cosmetologist. She's the Brazilian waxer.
I'm sure y'all are exceptions though. Another one that I don't really, it's kind of a rule, is I don't date a woman that is a Pisces, because like me, we're very emotional. Fucking crazy.
Cray.
What about Geminis?
What's the Gemini?
Are they also crazy?
I don't know. I just know Pisces are crazy. I am a Pisces.
Scorpios. So. I know but you're not really supposed to, I don't think you're supposed to end up with someone who's the same sign as you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere. I could be wrong. Because you're too much alike. You need someone to balance you out.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? If you're new here, this is Talk Murder Me Podcast. We are having a great time here in Charleston, South Carolina. The weather is pretty good.
Partly cloudy.
And we are live streaming. Got my two best friends here, Nicole, and I can't show you the other one, Luna. She's on the couch. I'm trying to
I actually thought he was going to say Hubble and Luna. I thought he was going to exclude both of us.
Yeah. I'm not surprised or offended.
We release episodes every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also live stream every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On time.
Mm-hmm. On time. On the money.
And then after this episode and every other Saturday, we do a private live stream episode for our supporters, our Talco Supremos. And you can sign up for that, patreon.com/talkmurder, I think. Or just type in Talk Murder Patreon.
I'm sure you'll find it if you do some digging. Good luck.
But the episode after this, we are talking about, you've never heard of this guy before, the Buttermilk Bluebeard.
That's the second episode?
Yeah.
I did get you buttermilk as requested.
Yeah.
Are we having pancakes?
A serial killer that you have never heard. No one has done this one, dude. And
Buttermilk Bluebeard sounds like a dairy pirate.
Like, should we just go get some ice cream after this? Or
you guys can ponder on why they call him Buttermilk. Why that's in his name.
I'm afraid to really think about that without knowing it. Yeah.
Anyway, so I got that one for you guys. And tonight we're doing an episode, a request from one of our supporters, Ashley.
She's on here.
What up?
What up, Ashley? She's up in Canada, and this is her request tonight. This is a Rehtaeh Parsons story. So Rehtaeh, as you probably need to say her name a few times because it took me a while. Rehtaeh. So it's Heather spelled backwards, but you'll see it spelled out. But that's how it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we will be doing that one here after we take shots and everything else. But that's all I got.
Cool.
Today's surprise shot request. Now that Jenna's back, we are gonna go on down the list. This is for Christopher.
Christopher. You sure it's not Christopher?
I mean, he spelled it Christopher.
Nice. That's very
it could be Christopher.
Christopher.
All right, guys.
And this is a specific request.
Surprise shots. Surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise.
What the fuck was that?
Cheers.
Wait, we're doing this and Jello shots.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
There's like
The Jello
a
shots.
lot of Jello shots.
Oh,
I made them
shit.
for 4th of July, but they didn't cool in time.
All right, we'll need them.
Cheers, Christopher.
Cheers.
Does that have Mountain Dew in it?
That was
Oh fuck that.
It
No.
was good.
Mountain Dew and Southern
You
Comfort.
think that was good? How did you can't tell Mountain Dew's in there? How?
I put it on the top so that it would have a little bit like you would put it.
I can't tell
Taste it
Mountain Dew
first.
is in there.
Well, it was.
Like Mountain Dew specifically.
Has a very distinct flavor.
I liked it.
This is everyone that's on here right now. We're literally taking shots.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It was just a very big shot.
Oh.
Good luck trying to get it all in one thing.
That's what they said.
Delicious. Did you put Malibu in there? Well, we actually had a Taco Supremo join literally like 10 minutes ago. So how cool is that?
That's
Nice.
awesome.
So thank you for joining us, Amanda, Riley, Jennifer, and Jennifer.
Wow.
2 Jennifers.
Nice.
More Jennifers.
Riley, I messaged you and Amanda and Jennifer, not the new one. But one of the big perks of doing the support thing is getting all the episodes, like all of them, ad-free on your favorite podcasting app. So Apple, iTunes, or whatever. It just shows up early and automatically. So make sure you do that because like that's like the thing, man. I don't know.
Can we get another Jello shot?
Yeah.
This is a pretty sad case. I'm not going to lie. It's not brutal or anything else like we usually do, but it's really important. And this case is requested by our good friend Ashley, who I call Ashleah because I've never seen anyone spell their name like that.
Ashley.
Yeah, but her name is
Lee. Leigh. Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leah. Yeah.
There's no A there.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so tonight I'm going to get started. We are going to Canada. We're going to Cole Harbor. And Ashley, I know you're on there. Where are you in relation to where this happened? Is this real familiar to you as far as, because I feel like you may have heard this before the documentary came out. And there is a documentary on Hulu or Netflix or something. I didn't watch it. I'm pulling all of this research, 90% of the research from a book by the victim's father. Okay. And that's what Nicole's going to read tonight.
5-minute drive, Ashley says.
Wow, very close. Very, very close.
5-minute drive. Oh, wow. So you heard about this when it happened and also all the other stuff that goes with this case that is, I don't know, pretty sad. All right. So we're going to
Oh, she knows the victim's mother.
Ooh.
They work together.
Oh my God. All right. We're going to the morning of April 4th, 2013. This is in Cole Harbor in Canada. Y'all may do the Google Earth or y'all get good. It's Canada. It's it's like, I mean,
We know where it is. It's north.
Canada's great, you know. Anyway, it's in the morning time, April 4th, 2013. Like I said, a father, Glenn, that's his name. And you'll hear a lot from him as far as in the book. He wakes up because the family dog's name is Ozzy.
I almost named Murphy that.
Good
really?
name. Good
Yeah.
dog name. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Not after Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know.
Well, it was going to be Oscar, and I would call him Ozzy for short.
Oh.
Oscar the Grouch. I like it.
Also, that's the name of the dog in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That works.
But that's not why.
Well, I think we got to keep going with the planetary theme at this point for us. I think Pluto might be the next one.
Ozzy, the family dog, wakes up the father, as usual, dogs do when they have to pee. At least that's what he thought when he woke up. The dog's like, you know, what is it? Oh, hey, buddy, you know, you have to go E-O-T-T-Y. I can't say it because our dog is in the room.
She would start barking and run outside.
No, she
might.
would literally just like start peeing on the couch. Let's be honest.
But this morning was a little different because Ozzy, he didn't have to pee, but he did look sad. Dogs seem to know things kind of before humans do sometimes. They can pick up these signals. And you'll see this is crazy that the dog knew this because Glenn is in his home by himself at this point. There was nothing to indicate to the dog that something was direly wrong except for the constant flashing of Glenn's phone, the missed messages, the missed phone calls, and that was the only thing that Ozzy would be able to see.
So he could sense that there was like an emergency.
Yeah. He didn't want to look at his phone. Somehow Ozzy knew. And when he did look at his phone, before he even put his PIN number in there, he immediately knew there was something wrong with his daughter. His daughter's name is Rehtaeh. R-E-H-T-A-R. I always have trouble.
R-E-H-T-A-E-H.
Yeah, which is Heather spelled backwards. her mom actually wanted to name her daughter that ever since she was a child. And you can see that in her book. That's Rehtaeh right there.
She's so pretty.
The dad knows something's wrong immediately. And I mean, I can just imagine, because you know something is bad, but you still force yourself to look at the phone. And tonight, Nicole's going to be reading from this book. I definitely recommend it. It's a fantastic book as you can get. These books right here are the victim's family when they write the book. You know it's going to be sad in every case, but it's also going to be real. It's going to talk not only about the family's struggle, but about the dad's struggle, about him coping. It's sad, man, but it's a really good book, and it's definitely recommended by me. It's called My Daughter, Rehtaeh Parsons by Glen Canning, and Susan McClelland helped write the book. I think she's an investigative journalist, so she kind of helped put things together. So it's really well written, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, this is what Nicole's going to be reading from tonight. And Ashley, I'm going to send this to you right after this, so don't buy it. So it'll just look for it in the mail. So the dad puts in his pen. He knows the worst has happened. And this is from his own words.
I quickly punched in the password access to my voicemail. Messages, several of them, all Leah, calm and collected. Glenn, Ray hanged herself last night. Glenn, Ray hanged herself last night. Glenn, Ray hanged herself last night. I wiped my perspiring forehead with a shaky hand, thinking, because of the flatness in Leah's voice, that I must have heard wrong. I'm tired, I told myself. I'm trapped in my nightmares.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't a nightmare. She goes on to say, quote, "We're at the hospital. I need you to get to the hospital right away. The doctors are not detecting any brain activity." Like I said, April 4th, 2013. She hangs herself, but she's still alive. She still has a chance. The doctors are not detecting any brain activity. She is alive. She doesn't have a lot of brain activity, but the dad noticed that she looked, quote, too warm, too comfortable, too cozy. Now, the ambulance brought her to the hospital, and the doctors hooked her up to a breathing machine and a life supporting machine. This is 17-year-old Rehtaeh. So she is now fighting for her life at this point.
The heart monitor showed beats, slow but steady. My own heart fluttered, and for a moment I thought the doctor was wrong. Ray would survive this. I leaned over and kissed my baby girl on the forehead. I then moved my lips close up to her left ear. When you wake up, I'll take you to McDonald's, I whispered.
The mother, Leah, which Ashley said she worked with, puts a message on her Facebook page. This is in the hospital. Her daughter is clinging to the last. I mean, she's in a coma, deep coma, hardly any brain activity, and she's trying to hang in there. And this is what her mom posts on her Facebook.
My beautiful girl struggles with each breath. She fought depression for over a year now. She found herself in a web of betrayal where friends turned against her. Still, she tried to get up over and over again. She was running on fumes, and still she tried. They walk the streets happy. She sits in ICU fighting to survive. That's the world we live in.
So what did you pick up from that?
That she was struggling with depression, and that there was probably a friend issue that may have been the triggering point.
Yeah.
Like bullying or something?
Yeah.
She sits in the ICU fighting to survive. That's the world we live in. Now, let's talk about her. Since she was a child, she wanted to be a marine biologist. Her dad goes through his story, and it's very honorable what his father does. And this is really interesting, his job. He's a marine diver in Canada, and he has been for 25 years, I think, or probably even more. But for 20 years, his job was to deactivate mines left by the Nazis.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
I thought you were going to say the oil things, the episode that we did where the...
Oh, no.
dudes
I
blew
mean,
up.
I guess the Nazis left a bunch of mines in the ocean.
They had subs, yeah.
So his job was to
U-boats.
clear these mines. Isn't that crazy?
That's dangerous.
Yeah, of course. It's really dangerous. He does go into one death that impacted him when he was in service. Something, I don't know the physics, but something to do with the rebreather and a buddy. I guess the rebreather is something that they use. It's not an oxygen tank. It just, when you breathe out, it somehow scrubs out the carbon dioxide and turns it into oxygen. Anyway, if something's wrong with it, you just breathe in carbon dioxide. So his buddy actually died at the bottom of the lake. Very sad. But anyway, you can see how he goes into this, and the father is, recounting his own life and his struggles. And it's just, man, anyway. So tonight we are talking about Rehtaeh. She was 17, and before any of this happened, she did regular volunteer shifts at SPCA. And from what I saw, she got that love for animals from her mother. And there's plenty of great photos of her caring for dogs. So, and she just is a natural with dogs, cats, parrots, whatever. She just
like Hubble.
loves the animals. And that's why she wanted to be a marine biologist, because she gets to work with
Marine life.
Yeah, the dolphins,
Whales and stuff.
Lobsters.
Now, Glen Canning is the father. This is who we're talking about tonight. This is his book. These are his words, his exact words that we're reading tonight. So it's going to be extra sad.
You did say that on the Discord that this was going to be a tearjerker.
Yeah.
I need to get another beer.
And I'm talking more about Rehtaeh in a little bit, but let's talk about the first time. Now, we're going back 17 months here. We're going back. We're going to talk about the first time Rehtaeh reached out to her father, begging him to come home. He was on a business trip. Now, the parents are split up. Glen and the mother, Leah, they're split up.
Okay.
Glen's new wife. Now, Leah is the biological mother, and Glen's the biological father.
Correct.
Krista is his new wife. So if you read anything that has Krista in it, that's his new wife. Mm-hmm. Okay, just everyone on the same page. Parents are split up. At this point, Rehtaeh is living with the biological mother. The first time he knows anything about what's happening is from text, and he gets him on a plane when he's traveling.
What's wrong? Ray's response came fast and riddled with typos, like she was typing frantically. Don asked me a question. If you love me and your father, you have to do this for me. Tell me what's wrong. Dad, please, you promised. Let me live with you. I'm on the plane. I have to turn my phone off. Tell me what's going on. You have to let me come and live with you and Krista. You're supposed to be my father. You are supposed to help. The attendant returned, bent down, and asked more firmly, Sir, can you turn your phone off? We're about to take off. Ray, I will call you when I get to Ottawa. I won't have Wi-Fi for an hour. If you love me, you will just do it. Please, just do it. Now, say I can live with you.
That is a daughter in dire need right there. That is not...
It's like pleading.
Why?
Well, I'm going to tell you why.
Well, one of the things that, should I wait for you or should I give my theory?
But do you know the story?
I don't know this story, but the only thing I can think of is working with education is that there must be, like, maybe there was something going on at school, and like depending on where
she wanted to transfer schools?
Depending on where the father lived, and this could be different in Canada than it is in the United States, but like in the United States, if you live in a certain district, you're assigned to a specific school. So if the father lived outside of where that school zone was, then she would not have to go to that school. Or something could have been going on in the neighborhood, or something could have been going on with her mom. I mean, she clearly was in distress.
It took Rehtaeh quite a while to disclose what happened to her parents, and she only could do so as she was curled up in the fetal position on the bathroom floor, speaking softly. She is defeated. This is a 16-year-old girl who is defeated in life. That is terrible.
I think a lot of kids feel that way, though, nowadays.
Yeah, it's more common than you think.
Rehtaeh was never popular, and this is what she's telling her parents. Well, they know she's not popular, but she's not unpopular. She's like right in the middle of the pack, kind of in the gray area. People don't hate her, they don't love her, or
she's just there.
She's just there. She's not unpopular, but she's never had the varsity football crowd.
Yeah. I can relate to that.
She says that there was a new girl that came in. Her name was Amanda, and Amanda may be changed in the book, okay? But this new girl,
who we will call
Amanda comes in. She's everything. She is, and they knew about Amanda before because she was all about Amanda. Oh, she's so popular. Did you know she wears makeup? She goes to all the parties. When she walks in the room, it just glitters. Everyone loves her. And she's the new girl. She is the one. And guess what? She picked me to be her friend. So now it's like an instant. Now she's thrust into the popular crowd. One night, and this is what she's telling her parents.
Was Amanda friendly to her?
Yeah, for the first, little bit. She tells her parents, now, as I said, she is in the fetal position on the bathroom floor, whispering that there was a sleepover. Amanda and Rehtaeh was going to sleep at Amanda's house like girls do. And at this sleepover, they took a walk down the street, and Amanda at some point says she wants to stop by some boys' home right down the street. Now here now these are the actual names of the boys. Okay, they were changed in the book, but thanks to Anonymous, that the mask wearing guys, they're pretty much public. So 2 brothers lived at this house, Cole Shipian and Hunter Shipian. There were 2 other guys, and these are all teenagers, 16, I think is the highest age.
Literally, the Hackers Anonymous made this.
Yeah. I should have said that. Yeah, the anonymous hackers, the ones with the mask and
the V for Vendetta mask.
Yeah, so they
Fox.
They were in this case. They've done a couple other cases that we've talked about. Sometimes I don't mention them, but this one's very important because these are all underage individuals. And as we'll get to, they came out and said, if something is not done, we will release these names. And that was the big threat. And they did. They hacked all their Facebook accounts and everything else. So, and I'll just go read this. This is from Anonymous, their post. As we have promised in the past, the accused are Cole Shipian, Hunter Shipian, Kyle Brimakome, and Cody Cosby. Ooh, what a good look.
We were just talking about that.
All right. These were the 4 boys at the house. As I said, 2 brothers lived there. Amanda had dated one of the brothers before, so it was just kind of a get together, have fun thing. Now, one of the boys handed her a drink. It was vodka. The next morning, she woke up. Literally, you can separate those 2 sentences, and that's what happened. One of the boys handed her a drink. It was vodka. The next morning, she woke up. That is what happened.
That's kind of ironic that Cosby was involved and there's also roofing involved. And I'm not making a joke. I'm just making.
Well, I'm not saying that there was roofing involved because the father,
some sort of drugs,
well,
right?
So we can't actually say that, but I mean, there's a strong possibility of drugging, but it was never tested because the father or the mother unfortunately didn't know to test for that. I mean, they wouldn't think 2 16-year-old brothers would roofie their daughter. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Well, and that's the problem is that you don't expect that if you're a teenager and you go to a house party, you don't expect there necessarily to be, well, I don't know, today's a different day, but parents don't think about that.
Most of that evening was a blackout for Ray, who had little experience with alcohol. She knew she woke up the next morning on a bed in a basement bedroom between 2 boys she didn't know and didn't remember meeting the night before. Her clothes were on backwards and her glasses, which she rarely took off, even to sleep, were on a night table, suggesting that someone else had placed them there. She fixed her clothes and fumbled her way to the door, her head pierced by the pain from a hangover, her legs weak and shaking. She found her Uggs and a mess of other shoes, all large boys' running shoes. She stumbled in a daze to a bus stop. When she was back at Leah's house, she crept back into bed, unsure of what had happened the night before, if anything. She remembered kissing someone and someone else on top of her. She also recalled throwing up at some point out a window, and she hit her head on the frame. It still hurt.
She says, quote, I was drinking and then gone until I woke up between those boys. This is 17 months prior to her attempted suicide. Rehtaeh wasn't a drinker. She was 15 when this happened. There is a strong possibility that one of the boys had drugged her. Now the father says, when did it happen? And I'm just going to read this.
So she shared publicly, with her parents, what had happened. Something bad had happened
when she was on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
Right after, though.
No.
Pretty much right after,
Yes.
yeah. Pretty much right after.
Interesting.
I mean, because this all happens really quick. I was trying to comprehend all of this, to connect the dots. Where was Rehtaeh that this could have happened? I couldn't think. It happened last weekend at Amanda's sleepover. And then the mother on the phone with the father, there's something else. It wasn't just one boy. It might have been as many as 4. 4 boys might have raped our daughter. Now, 2 of these boys are brothers. 4 boys at the party, and they rape her, all of them. So they took her to the hospital. Now this is a week after. They did a test. She has anal tearing, bruises around her hips, ankles, and wrist, which means she was either tied down or held down by multiple boys. Quote from her, "It's like my body isn't mine and I don't know how to connect with it," end quote. Now, let's talk about the really sad thing.
That's not the really sad thing. No, that's infuriating. Like,
no, it is.
No one,
but it gets worse.
Nicole's crying.
Yeah, that's
Look, you
hard.
made Nicole cry.
Ashley made me cry. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, no one fucking deserves that. No one deserves that. But what is wrong with, like, what? I just don't understand what is wrong with people.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, and why? Like, because they have parental issues, they have trauma that they haven't dealt with, and it's not okay to express your feelings. Like, I'm not going to go on a rant. I just need to take another drink. But
no,
it's
you're probably going to go on a rant because we're about to get into cyberbullying right now. Now, this is an unrelated case, but I just want to bring this up real quick. Cyberbullying, we've done a case before like this. In my opinion, after you hear this, I think we should all contact Congress or whoever and make cyberbullying a felony and have real strong penalties. Make examples of people.
We fucking should, but this case is in Canada and it's in the past. Like, what are we going to do?
They can do the same. Well, how about this? In 2011, this is in New York. In 2011, this unrelated case. I just want to bring you guys into cyberbullying. And then you can tell us all about it since you work for, the school
with
system.
what I do, yeah. Okay.
In 2011, a 14-year-old named Jamie Rodemeyer killed himself from cyberbullying. Do you want to guess why he was bullied so relentlessly?
Because he was gay?
Because he listened to and posted about his passion for the music of Lady Gaga, which is an amazing artist.
I fucking love Lady Gaga. She is an amazing, she's amazing. I'm not gonna, I can't. Okay, keep going.
A Lady Gaga fan.
The fans want you to rant, Jen. So they're like, rant, Jen.
No, I'm getting so upset. I'm getting so mad.
It gets worse.
I'm getting so mad.
A 14-year-old, now this is in 2011. I'm just bringing you guys into cyberbullying and how terrible it is. He killed himself because his peers ostracized him and sent him hate messages and death threats and everything else because he would post videos from Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, who is, and one of the most talented, because most artists out there nowadays are not very talented. She was clear, and this is from EW.com. Gaga was clearly devastated by this news, tweeting, "The past days I've spent reflecting, crying, and yelling. I have so much anger. It is hard to feel love when cruelty takes someone's life." She later tweeted, "Bullying." Now, I like this too. I agree with this. She tweeted, "Bullying must become illegal. It's a hate crime.
It is.
It is.
Yes, I agree with that.
This must end. Our generation has the power to end it."
You know what? Other than her music, just the stances that she takes in public, and she's worked with the government, and she has her own foundation for I can't even express how much I love Lady Gaga. Like she's just an amazing human. She really is. She really is. And
yeah, she's talented as hell.
She is.
If you look up the paparazzi video of her playing a piano in a radio station, it's an old video, but you'll just be like, you'll break down. You'll be like, oh my God.
It's so good. But my favorite performance, and I've seen her live several times, and
really?
Oh yeah.
That is one concert you might be able to get John to go to.
Well, she's not coming around this tour. She's not coming near here. The closest she'll be is in Atlanta, and she's playing at Fenway in August. And I considered getting tickets, but I just couldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to make it work. But I've seen her live several times, and I've seen her the past few times I've seen her. I've been general admission and have waited literally since 7 a.m. to get front row seats. You can't see her any differently anyway else, but I love her. I'm not going to spend half an hour talking about it, though. I mean, I could.
did like A Star Is Born.
My favorite performance, though, that other than the concerts that I've been to, is the VMAs, 2009 VMAs performance of Paparazzi. Classic.
Now, you kids might not know this if you're 20 to 25 or younger, and there's nothing wrong with that, but back in our day, okay, the Napster day, kids would get serious trouble for downloading music
songs. Yeah,
serious penalties. And in fact, it's
that's so true.
I looked up the first one. It took me a while to figure out the first one. The first person sued was a 12-year-old girl.
And it's funny. I remember
Kazaa. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is, we shouldn't make downloading music, because that was a big thing. They were making examples.
Yep.
However, the biggest cyberbullying case that anyone can think of is Michelle Carter. She got 12 months, and half of that was 3 months of that was dropped off. 12 months.
You guys, I sent a picture from the parking lot where they found him.
Yeah, I remember that.
So 12 months. And so just try to compare those. In the Napster days, if you guys don't remember that, oh my God, dude, they were making example out of example. But then you have case after case after case of kids hanging themselves.
You're stealing money from a multi-million-dollar artist
And that's the
versus,
thing.
you know
Well,
what
I don't want to get off on that. I'm
But
just
I
trying
know.
to compare.
And let me just say, if celebrities cared as much about cyberbullying and kids being persecuted for their causes as they did about losing, I don't know, like $3 from people burning CDs on LimeWire, maybe the world would be a better place. But I mean, you think about how the world looks at celebrities and we put them up on this pedestal, but they're just normal people. And yes, they're in a position of power because everyone knows who they are and everyone loves what they do. But if they actually got behind social justice causes, then and tried to make a difference, and maybe, I don't know, donated their money to causes that count and can make a change, then maybe they wouldn't be viewed in a negative light like sometimes they are. You know, it's just like, use your power for good, man. Like, don't be greedy. You don't need all the $5.7 million homes and all the 37,000 cars that you own and the acres of land. Like, if you want to run this country and make a change, like, make a fucking change. Just go to your congressperson, like, go to your local government, make a change. Like, don't just sit there in your ivory tower and like be like, oh, tweet about it. Oh, I'm so sad about this. And I'm not saying that like that's not how you get people to get behind your cause, but do something about it. Fucking do something about it. You have money, you can make a change.
Now, it was...
Sorry, I'm still
well
mad.
said.
So she didn't...
This is I feel like just the beginning of the rants this episode, so that's all good.
Thank you for the Jello shots.
Oh, you can have this one too. I kind of want another shot, but I don't want Jello shots. Rehtaeh Parsons was raped by all 4 boys that night, but that wasn't the reason that she's tried multiple times to commit suicide. But this is going to piss you the fuck off.
Already more than I just calmed down.
We're going from sad to you're going to want to fucking knuckle punch someone.
I'm already at the point where I want to knuckle punch some people. He gave me their names, how many of their addresses, and people in Canada to go follow through
doing
with
red?
it. But I can't do it because now I'm a public figure saying to go do it. So I don't condone violence just to be safe.
I do. Fuck, I'm a veteran. I mean, violence on bad people.
There's more. There's a photo going around of it, of Ray. Kids are sharing it with each other. She's not wearing all her clothes. And a boy, Leah stopped. A boy what? I shouted. A boy is doing stuff to her, Leah said. I suddenly realized I was sweating. I took off my jacket and let it fall to the ground. Leah managed to explain that because of a photo taken during the incident, Ray was receiving texts and social media messages from teens at her school saying she was a slut and a whore. Boys were asking her for repeat performance, and girls were writing that if they ever saw her again, they would beat her up.
They would beat her up because she was raped?
Quote, I wake up and all I feel is darkness. Sleep is the only place I feel safe. It's like I wake up into a nightmare and I want the nightmare to stop. Now, this is her right here. Can you imagine your child, your 14, 15-year-old son or daughter posting on her wall that she's a slut and a whore and to go kill herself? This girl right here. Can you imagine what would you say to your son or your daughter if you caught them posting on her wall on Facebook or whatever social media that she should do a repeat performance? Your son says, "Hey, I heard you fuck boys. Can you come over here?"
You know what, honestly, to be
I would beat my son lifeless, bro.
Well, the first thing that came to mind is they wouldn't be able. I would get one of my PA friends to write a doctor's note saying to excuse them from school for like a week and a half, because then they wouldn't actually be able to go to school. But like, knowing that DSS would get involved, that's not a thing. So I would turn them into the police. I think that's the right thing to do, because they need to face the consequences. That is not okay. That's not fucking okay. Like, I don't understand.
Sorry, Natasha, right on the money. She said, "Isn't this child pornography?"
Yes, it is.
This is the photo. The photo is not out there. The photo is child pornography. It's not out there. There's actually a group, I think I'm pretty sure associated with the family. It's on Facebook. It's like a report group. If the photo resurfaces, then they do actions to immediately take it down. The photo is child pornography. This is a 15-year-old girl and the other boys too. I mean, this is child porn. So the photo is not and should not ever be available. But if it is, there are report groups, I guess, to take it down. But this is the photo described. Rehtaeh is drunk. She is almost naked. I guess the pants pulled down. One of the boys is up against her, inside of her. She is hanging out the window of, remember, so she went on a walk with Amanda and they stopped at the two brothers' house. Mm-hmm. She's hanging out the window, either throwing up or had just thrown up. The boy that I guess is inside of her is
raping her,
is giving a thumbs up and a smile to the camera like this, and he posted it on his social media saying he's getting lucky. That's fucking terrible.
I feel like a vein's gonna pop out of my neck pretty soon.
Jen's gonna blow up.
Like, this is why I do what I do, but
and it's hard to stop the spread of this shit. I get it, but at the same time, this is child porn.
I get it. Kids are stupid. They do stupid fucking things and think that is
well, it's not just the kids. We're going to talk about these parents of the kids here in a second. And then Nicole's going to blow up. Both hosts are going to blow up. This is going to be me. Her friends, who she's had since elementary school, immediately after this photo's posted, start sharing it, calling her a whore, a slut. The family goes to the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
The Mounties.
All they wanted is this photo of child porn confiscated. They don't want any charges. They want to, because this photo is getting spread through the school halls, through the lockers and the gym classes, and in class, they're picking up their cell phones and they're sending it in class.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Yeah,
every kid is sending child porn to each other in class
because they don't understand what the consequences are and what that really means. Like, I haven't had. Well, yeah, actually, I have dealt with a case similar.
But the school should have been like, this is a felony. They wanted the photo confiscated. The best that the police have done in this case was say that the family couldn't use Rehtaeh's name because she's a minor and you can't disclose the names of child in child porn, which is fucking, like, who cares, right? The next phone call they received was November 22nd. The RSCMP handed the file to a detective constable, Patricia Snare, and basically they didn't do anything, and which is why Anonymous came in. After this happened, all they told her was Ray needs to be interviewed again. So she gave a full interview, and then 2 months later they call her.
Photographic fucking evidence.
Exactly. There's photo, and all they wanted was it to be confiscated and then not passed around. So now they're like, she needs to do an interview again. So in her mind, she's thinking, why?
You can charge.
Do they not believe me? The RCMP would take the next 2 years stringing the family along and blatantly lying to them about progress being made. They did nothing. Her school did nothing either. One of her true friends, one of the friends that stayed, now her friends are from elementary school, turned on her. But one friend, Beth, was so disturbed by this, she went to the guidance counselor and begged, sitting there, please, my friend is depressed. She's suicidal. This is a torment. The teachers know that this is happening. Everyone knows it's going through the school.
The guidance counselor told Beth that because the incident happened off school grounds and the photograph was being sent around virtually, i.e. not at the school, it was out of the school's hands, and Beth shouldn't talk about it any further.
Jen's about to fucking light on fire.
I think I'm like, my hair's gonna fall out.
Jen, this might calm you down a little bit. So after that happened, this comes up. You want to tell us what that is?
Group supporting Rehtaeh Parsons' alleged rapists accidentally exposed their identities on Facebook.
What's the title of that Facebook group?
Rehtaeh Parsons.
And what's on her neck? This is after
a noose.
This is after her attempted suicide.
And they crossed her eyes out to make her look like she had a disability.
This is after when we first started, when she hung herself. This is after. This is what they put up there.
That makes me mad. I'm still on the whole school counselor part, but that also makes me mad. Yes.
All right, let's just all bundle this up for you.
Yeah, I don't want to keep interrupting with my rants.
Go ahead.
No, I just you shouldn't talk about. I can't even finish a sentence. I'm so mad. Like, if you know about something, all right, granted, if something didn't happen on school grounds, and that's one thing. However, if it's reported to you, you should at least consult your administration to see if that's something that you should be dealing with. Because
child porn.
No, I'm not. But no, I'm not. I'm not talking about the sharing of the child porn. I'm not talking about that. If she and this is a friend, so if the friend reported it, you got to get the first-hand account. Like if the friend reported it, it's just hearsay, so you can't necessarily make a report. It'd be one thing if Rehtaeh came to the counselor and said this happened off school grounds, then the counselor would need to, well, in the United States, like I said, I don't know how Canada works, but in the United States, we're mandated reporters. So you need to make a report that this happened. But if the friend came, you need to consult your administration and be like, hey, this happened. And then they can tell you further about what to do. You don't tell a kid to not talk about it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Who is this school counselor? I need to find them and make sure that they're not employed anymore, because that is not okay. That is not okay. That's not okay. It's just...
So...
And then...
No, keep going, because I need to laugh now, so keep going.
And then, so the kid says, then there's the whole child pornography is being shared virtually. Yes, it's fucking happening at your school. You can't say that it's not happening in class. And this happens all the fucking time. Not necessarily with child pornography, which does happen, but with fights. It's the worst. Someone gets into a fight in the hallway, that video is shared immediately, and everyone in the fucking school has access to it.
Oh, shit.
They don't care. Like, these kids don't fucking know what to share and what not to share. They just do it for clout, to be like, oh, I got the video. Oh, I got the video. Like, do you know how many times kids have tried to show me fight videos? They'd be like, oh, Coach Collins, check this out.
You can ruin someone's life.
Like, there was a fight that happened this year at school that someone like literally got knocked unconscious on the bathroom floor, and like, Coach Collins, look at this, and I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking see it.
And you need to delete that, and
then they get consequences. Well, not just delete it, and then they get consequences. At least in our school, like, if you have the video, you get, like, if you're sharing the video, you get consequences for sharing those things. If you're sharing child pornography, even if you're in possession of the child pornography and you don't share it, that's you can be penalized for that because you're in possession of it.
Surely the parents of the rapists, Paul Hunter Shipian, Kyle Rimcomey, and Cody Cosby, have something to say.
Oh yeah, they probably said my kid wasn't there, right? That's not my kid.
Or they blame it on the victim.
They say
she was
this.
drunk.
They say this.
She couldn't give or decline consent when she had a throat full of underage cock.
That's a parent that said that?
This is a parent, yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
I'm
serious.
Parent said that?
Yeah, and the parent, this is not the only parent. We're going to go over some parents.
When she had a throat full of underage cock, you're going to talk about a kid that was raped like that? What the fuck is wrong with you?
This is
like what is wrong with you? And she couldn't decline or she couldn't decline consent because she was under the influence of a drink that one of your kids gave her. And even if she could, if she was...
Well, she was tight until she started getting it in with everyone. And how are you going to say important a dad of a rapist? I can't even read this.
Comical, important 19, and keep talking shit, because I know your face, your car, where you live, and what you do. So keep getting lippy, bud. You might be going to visit your daughter. Have a good day, Glen Canning.
That was also one of the fathers. One of the fathers also changed the Wikipedia page to say that she wasn't allegedly raped, she wanted it. And this is illegal. You can't change. No, I learned this from the anonymous video. I didn't know this, but if you post on your social media account something illegal, you can't hide behind the fact that, oh, maybe, my son got on there or someone hacked my account. And this is interesting. The IP address and social media account is similar to you driving a car. You get stopped and there's a bunch of drugs in your car. Your social media account is yours. Even if someone hacked it or whatever, that's still your responsibility. You're still liable, right? Yeah. So if you're driving this car with drugs in it, the cop's not going to be like, oh, okay, it's not yours. We'll just take these drugs and you get on. You're getting arrested and you're going to tell us who did it. Or someone's going to fess up, or everyone's getting the punishment here.
Right.
So it's the same thing. If you post anything online, you can't say that your account was hacked or whatever. Like, it's your responsibility. I didn't know that. Anyway,
This is I'm sorry.
There's that what is it?
Rehtaeh.
Rehtaeh account.
retarded.
How they're saying
Yeah,
it's retarded.
It was taken down by Facebook, but somebody did fortunately save it all. So I'll put this on the maybe on the
it's on the
website.
throwback machine.
But this is everyone that was involved in it. Now, I want to say before if you guys go and look up these people, because these are real people. Most of the ones involved deleted their Facebook accounts, but like this is the sister, Letitia Morgan Brimcombe. Some of these were added not wanting to be added. So I don't know. I guess Facebook, you can add people and they didn't know. Because some people say that, like, why am I in this group? Get me the fuck out of here. How did you add me type of shit. But this is pretty disturbing. I think rape, this is from Amber Rose, I think rape was actually a drunken, sloppy night. Jesus fuck. I mean, you could just read these. These are fucking terrible.
I don't want to read them.
And these are also, the parents are in here too. The parents are in here too. Just real quick, here's I'm just going to pull these up real quick. Yeah, she was bullied. Yes, she died. All horrible. It never should have gone that far, but there was no rape. She should have been honest and sucked up the embarrassment. Maybe she could have not put several penises in her mouth that night. Was from someone said that. Oh, here you go. This is from some of the parents here. You want to read some of this stuff?
They were cheering for her death. Some of these were adults. I just want to say that I'm laughing at her death. Fuck the Parsons. LOL, she died. She died like a bitch. Lame people like her need to die. Okay, so you know how I was talking about reversing the pyramid earlier? These are the fucking people that don't need to reproduce. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, so, and this is, I'm pulling from when I was away back home in Massachusetts. Like, you need to teach people respect. Okay, so I was at home, and my sister and I were in line at a Cushionet Creamery at the ice cream shop, which is like a really popular ice cream shop. I have a point, believe me. So we were in line. The line is like out the door. It's literally from like that tree to where I'm sitting right now. Like, this place is popular. So we're in line, and then all of a sudden this guy, he like, one of his friends goes, hey, like they weren't together. They were just like friends with each other. He brings his son over in line, and they're talking, and he cuts the line. And not only does he and his son cut the line, then he brought over like 3 other people that were in his family, and they all cut the line. And I'm like, you can't teach your kids that that's okay, because
entitlement.
It's entitlement. And it's like, okay, it'd be one thing if you were like together with that guy, like being like, oh yeah, hey man, like, okay, here you are. That's what. But like, you literally, like, his family didn't even know that they were going to meet up with that friend, because the family was walking to the back of the line, and then he called his family over to the front of the line. And yes, it was like 5 people and like one party, but still, I was pissed because, you know, you can't just do that. You can't chat and cut, calling it back to Curb Your Enthusiasm, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But like it starts there. Like, you need to teach your children like respect and how to like
teach your children well.
They will tell. Na, 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 na. Yeah. Okay. So like that just bothered me. I wanted to blast that motherfucker out on public, because that really bothered me. And like, these people should not be.
These are the parents.
I understand that. These are the people that don't need to have kids. If you're going to act like that, like, it's one thing to defend your children, but another thing to be like, LOL, she died. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
After she attempted suicide.
Like, what the fuck?
Now, we're going to go through her PTSD. She had her phone off at one point for 3 days. She turned it back on. There were hundreds of messages and notifications calling her names and sending her threats. I'm going to read these because these are bad. One of them said, you had a foursome with my friends? What about me? You slut. You tried to steal our boyfriends. We're going to come after you. We have the photo and we're making sure everyone gets it. These are all separate. Slut. Whore. She wanted it. She's good for one thing and one thing only. A gangbang. A friend of Amanda's wrote, you did this to hurt Amanda. You were jealous of her life, her community. You are just such trash. We will follow you with this wherever you go. You will never have a life again. A long-term friend of hers named Patty from elementary school wrote on Rehtaeh's Facebook wall, and this is the quote that sticks out. This is what you will see on the story. She just wrote on the Facebook wall, quote, sluts are not welcome here. Loser, whore, die, Rehtaeh, die. Why don't you just go and kill yourself? Your life is nothing more. Jesus Christ, dude. Your life is nothing more than a rag anyways. At this point, Rehtaeh's mother is calling the kids that are posting this on her wall, calling the parents to say, look what your kid just posted. They told my daughter to go kill herself. Soon after she started contacting the parents, she got notifications from the parents saying the following: she loved what happened to her. That's the kind of girl she is. You don't even know your daughter. Oh, another woman writes on Facebook, I don't know how Rehtaeh could have kept her hands off them. Another one simply said she got what was coming to her. Pretty terrible. So let's talk about her PTSD, 'cause she obviously had it. She couldn't...
I'll be right back. Hold on. Keep going.
Where are you going?
No, I'm okay.
Are you crying? Oh, shit.
Yes.
Well, this is Ashley's fault. Following this, she would constantly be in the shower. She would wash her hair, clean her nails with a coarse brush. She would soak in the bath over and over and over and over and over all day long. She would let the water drain out. She would sit there with a blank stare on her face, fill the tub up again, do it all again, all day. She was afraid to go to school. She had nightmares. She had This is PTSD. She had panic attacks. That's PTSD. She had anxiety, terror, nightmares. Her blood pressure rose. Heavy breathing, nausea. Anything was a trigger for her. That is PTSD.
Her sleep never lasted long and was punctuated by nightmares. Sometimes I stayed to be there when she woke up. And when she did wake, she would often be choking and perspiring, reaching for the hand of whoever was near her. When she stayed at my house with Krista and me, she would cry out in the night for me. I would come running and place my hand on her back. Just knowing Leah or I were nearby seemed to comfort her. She
did find comfort in her old diary entries, and this is her trying to recreate herself. She's trying to put herself back together, but as you'll see, that was a futile task. It could never happen. The second police interview was November 29th, 2001. At that point, she said that at one point she remembered at the night sitting up and telling a boy that was on top of her to stop. That's the only thing that she can remember. At 16, she was assigned a rape counselor. I guess in Canada, you have to be at least 16. On her birthday, December 9th, her mother scheduled her for her appointment.
Wait a minute.
Don't get up. It is what it is. Her parents decided to change schools from Cole Harbor High, where this was going around, to Dartmouth. They also tried Citadel. Then Ray asked a really great question, which stuck out to me. She said, quote, if I didn't do anything wrong, why should I have to go to a different school, end quote. Her father goes to get some of her artwork she was working on at the time, and the expression on her face was one of terror. It was the first time, and this is from the father, it was the first time I saw that she was deathly afraid of other young people. The art teacher, they didn't change schools yet. The art teacher had thrown the art away. Not of his fault, of his own, but through the students, they were saying that she is moved on to a different school. So it was his mistake, but they picked up through the students. They were all saying, oh, she moved out to a different school.
And I mean,
and he did, apparently, from what Glen Canning said, felt awful about it.
Well, I commiserate with her. If I did nothing wrong, why do I have to go to a different school? That's so sad. But like at the same time, when all of this is going around the student body, like
I wouldn't want to be associated with that.
I wouldn't.
Such
I mean,
people.
I understand what she's saying, but like I wouldn't want to go back to that school.
Yeah.
I understand that she probably just wants to go back to normal. But once something like this has happened, there you have to make a new normal. It's not going to go back to the way that it was. As much as you want it to, as much as you try to make it that way, it's not. Like, and it's probably like if I was her parents, I would try to tell her like, listen, like, I want you to feel safe, but it's not a safe place for you. All of this is happening. You're getting bullied. Like they're trying to do what's best for her by sending her to a new school.
So you think the answer is a new school?
I think that
it's a start.
I think it's a good start. I think that what you're going to tell me is that this has gotten around to all of the schools in the area, which is not going to give her a brand new reputation like she needs.
Social media is everywhere. Like anyone can see it. It's not limited to someone's school. That's like the harm in it.
The only way, I mean, like when something like this, as big as what it is, has happened, like
you gotta fucking move.
Yeah, you gotta move out of state.
She says, quote, people aren't supposed to touch other people's things without their permission. It's like these people are trying to delete me. Dad, that art meant something to me. People are supposed to respect each other's things. Why do people destroy each other and things that matter? So Obviously, everything worked out because she transferred schools pretty far away. Everything was going good. New clothes, new backpack. She's feeling confident. She's ready to go. New life completely. This is the first day of school. Everything's going great.
She felt good. She felt like returning. Then, just before the final bell, a message popped up on her phone. It was a friend of Amanda's. She said she knew that Ray was at Dartmouth High and that she would be waiting out front to beat her up. The girl implied that she was going to send the photo to everyone she knew at Ray's new school, and wherever she went, she would be followed.
The next time the police called was in March. They said now they have evidence, but they wouldn't say what it was, and they never returned any of the calls again. March 24th, 2012, we're going to after the new school and everything. So she went to a new school, Nicole, and then the first day, everything was going great, and then she got a text message saying that, I know you're here. I'm waiting out front to beat you up, and we're going to send the photo everywhere. She can't go anywhere. I mean, honestly, as a 16-year-old in high school, male or female, opinions of other kids fucking matter a lot.
That's all that matters.
Now, March 24th, 2012, she's living with her aunt. She is way out living with her aunt at this point. Changed her whole life. She's living at a cabin. She's seeing the sunset, everything else. March 24th, 2012, the aunt walks up the stairs. She noticed muddy footprints on the stairs. Everything's quiet. The guest room door was shut. She pushed it open. On the light fixture, a black belt, her black belt, was knotted around it, and she sees Rehtaeh. This was her first suicide attempt. Quote, I didn't want to do it. I just wanted the nightmare to stop, the noise in my head. After this, she begs her father to put her in a mental health facility. Begs her. Begs him. And I mean, he does. He complies. Quote, I want to live, Dad. I want to get better. I need help. She actually lied to the counselor and said that she was on meth and all kinds of drugs because they didn't want to admit her. And then she says, I'm addicted to drugs, meth, cocaine, anything, just to get into that facility because she knows she's going to kill herself. She knew, like, it's horrible.
And that's the worst part is that, like, if you don't take someone seriously when they say that they're going to kill themselves, when someone comes to me and they say that they have suicidal ideation or they're planning, like, we have to do a whole assessment to see where they're at. And normally, if it's high enough, then yeah, we're gonna send them to go get admitted somewhere. But the thing is, now we can't say to the parent, you have to take them. We have to say, we strongly recommend that you take them. We can't tell them, go send them now. They can't come back before they see you to be a doctor, which used to be the thing. But now we have to say, we strongly recommend it. But if someone says they're going to fucking kill themselves, you shouldn't have to lie and say that you're on meth to be admitted somewhere. Like, that's a problem. That is a problem.
Quote, if I leave this place, I will die. She started to cut herself. She used a zipper on her jeans and then paper clips that she would steal from the nurses and ballpoint pens.
So they didn't see this? They didn't see her cutting herself or self-harming or anything?
No, I don't want to get into how they dropped the ball. But
I mean, like, for real, though, like, you need to look out for these kids. Okay, sorry.
She showed me her hacked up arms. Quote, watching the blood come out is like watching the pain leave. She cut so deep that her bed sheets had to constantly be thrown away because they were completely blood red. Her father had, now this is in the mental hospital, her father had to bandage her up like a baby and rock her. Now, I didn't get into Rehtaeh a lot, but I want to say this is one of the smartest young individuals I've ever seen. If you're into science, especially science fiction like Isaac Asimov and Stephen Hawking's, which is not science fiction, but science nonfiction. If you're into that, you will also enjoy this book because she was. And a lot of her conversations with her dad talks about black holes and multiple universes and stuff like that. And it's way over my head as a 36-year-old, someone that reads science all the time. I can tell that she understands that stuff way better than me. She's a very smart individual.
You know, it's also sad to think about, though, if you're someone who deals with depression or is dealing with PTSD or trauma like she's dealing with, you would hope that multiple universe theory exists because in one of those universes you won't be dealing with what she's dealing with.
The father bandaged her up and rocked her like a baby. The police continued to do nothing. Anonymous got involved. They threatened to release the names. They did because the police did nothing. All the police said was, okay, Anonymous, we'll do it, but you just come down here and file a police report. Obviously, they're not, because they're, hackers. They're not going to come in. They gave them a certain time period. They said, if you don't do that, we have all the evidence we need. We've already hacked all these kids' Facebook accounts. We will release their names. And they did. And they sure as hell did. I mean, I am not fucking with that anonymous group. Fuck that.
What do you guys think about the anonymous group? Like, do you think they're like Robin Hoods of the internet, or like, do you think it's problematic?
No, I mean, I don't want to get into that, but
in this particular case, I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm.
They released all the 4 boys' names. I said them earlier. So, but that's the boys' names, man. You can still find, like, one of them still has his Facebook account. I'm like, dude. Watching the blood come out is like watching the pain leave. The police continued to do nothing. They pressed the family. When the family pressed them, they claimed that they had, quote, conflicting evidence, which is crazy, because what did the family want? All they wanted was to get the picture out of circulation. What conflicting evidence? They're not even concerned about 4 boys raping their daughter. They just want the picture. She's not going to kill herself because of the rape, because that would eventually fade out, but a photo that is just passed around, and the school's not doing anything to stop it. She thinks she's worthless, and she's starting to believe this. Well, the school's not doing anything, the police aren't doing anything, so maybe I am a slut. That's what she's probably starting to think. Maybe they are right. Maybe I
did do something wrong.
Maybe I should just go kill myself. I mean, what do they expect? It's crazy. So I don't know what this quote conflicting evidence they had was. I guess they interviewed the boys and they're like, nah, she wanted it. Anal tearing. You remember when she went? She want. Do you want anal tearing?
No.
You think that's something that someone wants? Oh yeah, just do it so hard that there's anal tearing.
Stop! I'm already clenching my butt cheeks. Like, no.
She didn't want that. She was most likely drugged. She had no idea what was going on. All right, let's finish this up. We're back in the hospital. She attempted suicide from where I started off. This was attempted suicide.
I hope where you are going next is as wonderful as Cozumel, I whispered, leaning down close, my lips touching Ray's ear, her soft milky skin still warm. I'm sorry, I said, so sorry I couldn't have helped you. And that's when the machines beeped erratically a few times. A nurse came into the room, checked Ray's pulse, and then pressed the intercom for a doctor. People came and went. Leia on one side of the bed, holding one of Ray's hands, me on the other doing the same. Ray passed then. The last part of her brain died, gone within seconds. Gone. Like she knew if she hung on any longer, she'd be taking more than just herself.
One of the things that the father remembers her saying before she died was this. She said, quote, God's abandoned me. The devil has done more for me.
Damn.
That's it. She's dead. Attempted suicide. Yeah. She was brain dead after that. And that's it. That's the story.
So tell me those motherfuckers were charged with something.
What do you think?
Well, it's Canada, so probably not.
Yeah, they were charged. 1 year probation. Child pornography.
I'm not to Alaska and Avenger them.
The worst charge was 1 year probation.
Jesus Christ.
That's why I brought up the Napster thing, man. They were putting 12-year-olds in prison.
In prison for years. For fucking years. Yeah. The really, really hard thing is that this is what is, it's the norm. And it shouldn't be, but it is. And we were actually, like, ironically talking about, like, shit like Bill Cosby earlier. This is why women don't come forward. It hurts my heart. And I think I can now, like, say, and I think I've said this in a couple episodes a long time ago. I was sexually assaulted when I was a freshman in college. And I remember thinking, like, maybe it was kind of my fault. Was it kind of me? I was drinking, but I wasn't that drunk. I told this person to stop. And I was a lucky one. I ran away because this person tried to take off his clothes, and that was my way to get out the door. And I had history class with this motherfucker.
Oh, God.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday,
What's his
freshman year.
You tell him what their name is. Tell the people what his name is. We'll get him.
I honestly don't remember his last name. His name was Damien. And I remember...
Damien, like demon.
Damien. And I remember I barely told anyone. I didn't even tell my fucking therapist at the time that this happened. I didn't tell anyone because I was ashamed, because I felt like it was my fault, because I thought that maybe because I was a little bit drunk, I was inviting this whole thing. I wasn't interested in him at all. Like, there was like somebody that I really, really cared about who was my sister's friend. And he was actually the only person I told. And I kept it to myself. Slowly, I maybe told a couple people that like this guy was not a good guy. And I kicked myself every day because it happened again to somebody else from the same guy. And I blamed myself afterwards. She had the courage to speak up and report this person. I think he was suspended, expelled, something. This was in college. It was like very different times. And I was like, that's the thing. Like, I was fucking lucky and that shit happened. But I didn't say anything because I felt like somehow it was me. Like, maybe I was afraid. Like, maybe I invited it. Maybe I like allowed the kissing part of it and that was okay. And that impacted every single fucking relationship I ever had afterwards. John was the only relationship I ever really had afterwards. And, you know, I could not help but get emotional because I think about how, like, I was lucky. And I'm not going to get into politics. And I think about how difficult other people who maybe aren't so lucky may have it now in the US. And like, that's another fucking hard thing. But it is still hard when you think maybe you did something wrong or hey, like you can't help but question yourself. And I do 100%. I am a survivor. Like, I am strong. I came out the other side, but I was fucked up for a long fucking time. I couldn't, like, my whole approach to life was different. I couldn't just trust people anymore.
And I can't even comprehend like what that would be like because I mean, except for
you're seeing you're seeing the counselor side of it and be like, how could somebody fucking say something like that to somebody?
But I mean, like, as women, like most women, I mean, we're brought up to be like, oh, like that guy, he's so cute, like you need to impress him, you need to do this, you need to do that, and then it's like you're, you know, making out with him at a party, it's like, oh my god, this is finally happened, and then it's like, oh no, I don't want it, I don't want it.
That's not what I asked for.
But that's not like. But then it's like I'm not in your position. I can't speak to it, and I can't even imagine what that was really like. But just to be like, that's kind of what we're taught, is to be like submissive and to be like, okay, like,
let's just pretend it never happened, actually, because it's easier. And it was. Yeah. That's the other weird thing. Like, it was easier for me to just be like, you know what? Maybe it didn't happen quite the way I remembered it.
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah, but see, she had a photo of it.
Picturing, like, if that happened
and it was
to
just,
me,
like, bombarded
that would
her.
have fucking ruined me. It was
Around
all
the school,
across the school.
The photo circulated even when she transferred schools, and it wasn't just the photo. It was girls telling her that they're gonna beat her up, and guys saying, "Hey, do you want to come fuck me since you fucked these other guys?"
But here's the thing: she had a photo, and she was still being threatened. People like that went through like what Nicole went through, and worse, that don't have photos only have what they have experienced, and you don't get to say, look, this is the proof that this happened. It's just she's saying that because she didn't really want to she doesn't want people to know that she wanted to fuck this guy. No, that's not the thing. Like, women are abused and raped all the time, and they only have their word versus the man's word, which in society is worth more than what the woman says, because we're taught that we just need to fucking take it, and that's not okay.
All right. So anyway, that's the story that was requested by our good friend Talco Supremo. Ashley, if you guys want to request your own story, just support us, patreon.com, and type in Talk Murder to Me podcast.
Ashley,
that's what I said.
Wow,
thank
Ashley.
you for requesting this story.
Yes, that was a beautifully tragic story.
So anyway, we're about to do another story that is just insane, and it's not uplifting. I mean, it's still serial killer, but it's the buttermilk Bluebeard.
Do you need me to go get the
dairy pirate?
Out of
The dairy pirate.
I mean, has anyone pondered on why someone would call him the buttermilk?
Oh, you were gonna say why anyone would call him the dairy pirate?
Anyway, we're going to do that next. And so if you want to stay for that, become a Taco Supremo. And for the middle tier, the $5 tier, we'll have that available right after we're finished. And if you don't want to interact and stuff, but the next episode is more interactive. All right, so that's all I got. That was the Rehtaeh Parsons story. Very sad. I'll put those photos on talkmore.com and that's it. So I'm sitting here with Jen and Nicole, and this is Talk Murder Podcast. We release episodes every Tuesday, Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We record live stream every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like this and you like this type of content and you're more into the alien stuff, you can follow my alien channel, and I had the link in the description below. It's Johnny Llama, and we do live streams every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, that's all I got, and until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.